Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Union Red Hawk softball here at the campus of the Union Freshman Academy for this afternoon's game between the Haskell Haymakers and your Union Red Hawks. Now let's meet the starting lineups. First for the Haskell Haymakers. Batting first, playing shortstop, number 20, Lindsey Kelly. Batting second, playing rover, number 7, Reagan Wright. Batting third, playing third base, number 6, Sailor Brown. Batting fourth, playing first base, number 10, Alex Bowden. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, Shania Burkholter. Batting sixth, playing second base, number 12, Michaela Collins. Batting seventh, playing center field, number 4, Raylan Morgan. Batting eighth, playing left field, number 15, Mariah Ardaberry. Batting ninth, playing right field, number 3, Riley Westmoreland. And batting 10th, the catcher for the Haskell Haymakers, number 14, Kaylee Botwell. And on the mound, the pitcher, number 2, Kaylee Botwell. Ladies and gentlemen, the Haskell Haymakers. And now, your starting lineups for the Union Red Hawks. Batting first, playing shortstop, number 14, Monica Franklin. Batting second, playing center field, number 6, Lily Hance. Batting third, your pitcher, number 3, JC4. Batting fourth, left fielder, number 10, Danny Perez. Batting fifth, third baseman, number 8, Tensia Norman. Batting sixth, the rover, 00, Jocelyn Williams. Batting seventh, playing second base, number 5, Bailey Dickerson. Batting eighth, playing first base, number 9, Bree Arvey. Batting ninth, your catcher, number 11, Trinea James. And batting 10th, playing right field, number 7, Harmony Zog. Your assistant coaches are Jerry Pease and Courtney Dobson, and your head coach of the Union Red Hawks is Brett Robinson. Ladies and gentlemen, the Union Red Hawks. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, if you would please rise or remain standing as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Thank you. This afternoon's umpires are Devin Maynard and Stephen Randall. Your official score is Sean Ford, and I'm your announcer, Jim Douthit. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Red Hawk softball. What's happening? I know, I wanted to be. That was supposed to come up when we had it. Hi, everybody. Welcome in. It's Union's Red Hawk softball, as I've got about 4 different jobs going right now. Welcome in. He's Sean Four. I'm Jim Douthit. And Sean, this Union Red Hawk team is sitting at 7-2, lost a heartbreaker last night. Tell us a little bit about what you saw last night versus, I believe it was Kellyville.
Yeah, we ended up losing 13-12 last night. Had our opportunities, but just couldn't get the tying or winning run across.
Just tough. Now, conditions, we were over at the baseball field. What was conditions like here?
It was windy and it was smoky.
Now batting for Haskell, number 20, Lindsey Kelly. And it was smoky?
Very. Yeah. Grass fires around the...
Yeah, in this part of the country right now.
Oh, man.
You know, and right now we see the wind blowing really left to right. It's blowing really hard and out for the most part. That bodes good for the few girls that can hit the long ball for us, including our pitcher, JC4, grounder.
Yeah, absolutely.
To Dickerson, and there's one away.
Yeah, that's the one thing we didn't. Franklin led off yesterday with a home run, but
now batting number 7, Reagan Wright.
But that's all the home runs we could manage yesterday, and
with 13 or 12 runs, and that's all you get. Another grounder to Dickerson. She bobbles it a little bit, comes up, throws it not in time. First base coach was telling Wright to run, but she ran through the base like she should and didn't see the advance.
Caught a break there.
Yeah, Dickerson usually comes up with those pretty clean. Third baseman, Sailor Brown. So Sailor Brown will step in. One on is Wright. She got a ball kind of outside.
It's going to be real interesting pitching in this wind, slow pitch. Fast pitch, it doesn't really affect the ball pitching-wise, but...
That's lifted to left field. Perez back on it, and she'll make the catch. And I was talking to Grayson Tempest because we noticed last night in the outfield on the baseball game, players from both Stillwater and Union, they would take a couple of steps back, and then all of a sudden they had to really hustle to get in. And I don't know if it was the wind as much as it was possibly some of the light as it was. But we noticed that a lot. And I talked to Grayson after he made an incredible catch.
I saw that.
Did you see that?
I saw it. I went back and watched it.
That was probably the highlight for those boys this year so far that we've seen.
He took it back. He brought it back over the wall.
And that would have been Gundy's second home run of the evening. Gundy hit one in the first inning, and so that Stillwater Pioneer team is impressive. But we were as well. Now out to Hance, and just like that, there's 3 away.
Good inning.
Good inning for JC. Good inning for the Red Hawks. When we get back, Monica Franklin will lead it off for the Red Hawks after this. Monica Franklin steps in. Just talking about the great game that baseball had last night. And I'll ask you, I asked Coach Morgan earlier, I want to get your opinion. This girls team's 7-2, right?
Yeah.
With the exception of the one piece, and we talked about in Sydney Owens, it's the same kids. So what's changed in the past few months that has allowed them to really, I don't want to say overachieve, but kind of overachieving, right?
Well, it's the correlation between fast pitch and slow pitch. It's two totally different animals. It's the same sport, but it's different. And that's down the line.
And that's fair. Monica will go for 2. The throw in, not in time. Ball gets away, but Franken will stay there.
She swung at ball 4 and pulled it down the right field line.
And you're not mad about that.
No. Yeah, that's it.
Center fielder Lily Hance. Now
And so back on that,
Yeah.
what we were saying earlier, this game, the slow pitch game, you're never out of it. And just like, against this, we played this Haskell team last Thursday. We ended up losing 19-12, but we were never out of it. It was just they came up with some timely hits that we didn't. And the girls, for the most part, have just embraced it. It's slow pitch. It's fun. Let's go have fun.
Good. And they're having a good time with it, that's for sure. I mean, and everything, listen, we've all been there. Everything's much more fun when you're winning. When you have a bigger number in your win column than you do your loss column. So, but it does loosen up your team. It makes your clubhouse different. And then Lily right there, a walk. So being smart, now that ball, the way it's carrying, you're talking about it. Pitcher, JC4. JC will step in, up the middle. That'll get 1 run home. And just like that, it's 1-0.
And that's what we didn't do last night. We did it a couple times because we ended up scoring 12 runs.
I was going to say you did it a few times. Left fielder, Danny Perez.
But
not
not
a few times.
But not when we
you
could have
needed
opened
to.
up an inning a lot.
Got it. And the pitcher and Kaylee Botwell having a little trouble with this wind, I believe.
It's going to be brutal on the pitchers tonight in this wind.
She threw a couple behind Lily Hance. Obviously not on purpose. She just threw it up there, and Lily had to step forward so that it wouldn't hit her. She lowers it a little bit, and there's a strike.
Now, when we played them Thursday last week at Haskell, their outfield fence is only about 3.5 feet tall.
And that's hit on the run. On the run there was Ardaberry, and there is 1 away. Anyway, so the fence isn't very tall. So
it's not very tall.
Get up on it.
So, go ahead.
Third baseman, Tetsia Norman. Go ahead.
So there Thursday,
fence, right.
yeah, we ended up hitting. I mean, we played 4 games. JC had 6 home runs last Thursday, and I think as a team, we were in double-digit home runs.
Home runs in the 4 games.
Yeah,
that's awesome. So much shorter field. Now there's one slapped. Nice job there by Westmoreland, and they will try to double it up, and they do. Devin Maynard, first base. And Jerry Pease is going to come out and have a conversation with Devin Maynard, first base, and appeal the call. And so the 2 umpires will get together.
I'm going to hold off putting the third out up there. She may have got back in there.
They're going to say it, and they're going to talk about it quickly, but regardless, JC's out. She was running on a ball that looked like it could have. The way it was.
I mean, she read it and she thought it was going to drop, and then when she put the brakes on, she ended up slipping a little bit and just couldn't get back.
Yep.
So,
couple of hits, couple of runners left on, and the haymakers will come up after this. For the Haskell Haymakers, number 5, Shania Burkholter. So Burkholter steps in. Redhawks leave 2 stranded. Four will check her defense. We're underway. To Dickerson. Nice glove there, and there's
Nice
one
play.
away.
I think she surprised herself a little bit that she got that one.
Look what I found. Second baseman, Michaela Collins. Collins steps in. High pitch there. A little deep. So it's 1-0. So what did you see last night? Obviously, you got to move runners. We get that.
Mm-hmm.
You got to move runners. That's obvious. Was there anything that was glaring? I mean, it was 13-12, so it's not like you didn't hit well. That's for sure.
We just didn't hit the ball where they weren't last night for the most part. When the time
is up, Williams is underneath it, and actually Zog calls for it, and she gets it, and there's 2 away. Go ahead and finish that.
That ball started out
Yep.
at right center,
Yep.
and the right fielder ended up catching it.
Yeah, and the way that wind is
It's
still
with it.
shifting around.
Yeah, it's
quite
going to
a
be
bit.
an adventure out there, that's for sure.
Raylan Morgan steps in. She looks at first pitch ball, center fielder for the Haskell Haymakers.
And there were a couple defensive lapses last night that, normally we don't make. But, that's part of the game. You can't be 1,000% on fielding every game.
Well, and it was funny, last night, what kind of opened it up for Stillwater in the first inning was an error by Keller. Segue to the 4th inning, there's an error by Holiday at shortstop, and we score 4 runs to tie it. So and now there were 2 errors on the Pioneers in that particular inning, but all the same,
yeah,
the error is what
errors
lead
kill you.
to that. Yeah. Now the 3-1 pitch popped up. Perez looking, running. Great catch there. And 3 up and 3 down. We'll head to the bottom of the 2nd. Redhawks coming up. The Redhawks. 0-0, Jocelyn Williams.
The other thing that was really promising last night was the middle and the bottom of our order did some work last night. Our top, the top 4 weren't really producing, but that middle third and bottom third really come through with some clutch hits, and then just they just didn't have enough.
Right.
But it was good to see.
Good. Yeah, and I guess with positive things like that, you lost 13-12 as a squibbler there. And Brown will get the first out. Second baseman, Bailey Dickerson. So Dickerson will step in. So a lot of positives then for Coach Morgan to work on after that. Grounder to Kelly. Pick it up. Throw to first. In time. Nice scoop up there by Kelly, the shortstop. And just like that, there's 2 away. First baseman, Bree Arvey. Bree Arvey steps in now. Nobody on. Quick work here by Kaylee Botwell tonight. Or at least in this inning for sure. Hasn't gotten in any trouble so far in this inning. Ball skips away from her sis. Home plate umpire will scoop it up and they'll throw it back. And here we go again. 1-1, 2 outs. Back to the pitcher, and there's 3 away. We're back, top of the third, right after this. Leading off for the Haymakers, number 15, Mariah Ardaberry. So Ardaberry steps in here. Go to the top of the third, and Ardaberry's the 8-hole, so pretty good fielding all the way around, and that's hit out to Zog. Over her head, Zog misplayed that one, and that'll go to the wall. Rounding second and heading to third, and she'll stay there with a stand-up triple. And if we were officially scoring this, I'm going to say that's probably an error on Zog, the way she came in like that.
Like I said, the wind is going to be an adventure tonight.
Yep. Right fielder, Riley, Westmoreland. So Westmoreland steps in, and this is an opportunity for the Haymakers to score with the tying run a mere 60 feet away. I am right on my footage, correct?
Correct,
60
yes,
feet, very
60
good, thank
feet.
you. Thank you. And the sun peeks its head out a little bit. We have heard that there's going to be some storms coming in, but thankfully, Sean, I think it's going to be well after we're done.
Right,
here.
I think around 11, midnight, somewhere in there.
And if we're still here at 11 or midnight, something has
we got
gone
some
wrong.
troubles.
Yes, for sure. Inside ball 4. Just like that, JC having a little problem finding the strike zone. But again, you talked about the wind, and that may be part of it. Catcher, Briley Botwell. So the catcher steps in, and Botwell, runners at the corners. This is an opportunity unfortunately, for the Haymakers to open it wide, if you will. As a simple base hit will easily score third. And that's hit out to Zog. Zog quick on her horse. She can't come up with that. That'll fall out of her glove. One will score. Rounding second and heading to third is Westmoreland, and she'll hold up there, and with a stand-up double is the catcher in Botwell.
Zog just needs to take a breath.
Pitcher, number 2, Kaylee Botwell.
Zog just needs to take a breath and just relax. You know, she's capable of catching those balls.
Oh, yeah, and we saw her in the first game, that first couple of games we did last time, to play some solid defense. She didn't have to make anything crazy.
No.
Right? Designated runner, there we go. Designated runner, number 1, Hayden Ward. So Hayden Ward will take over for the catcher, and Botwell on second. Kaylee Botwell, the assist, will come in. Chance to really help herself right now. JC delivers. Will be deep and inside for ball number 1. And no real worries about JC4. We She's been down this road a million times.
Yeah.
She knows what to do.
Absolutely.
You know, if she could talk to Harmony right now, what would she be saying to her?
She'd just be saying, make the next one. You
There
know,
you go.
just melt that snowball.
Right.
You know, don't let it just keep compounding. Just get the next one.
Well, and the way the wind's blowing, those two out there in Zog and Williams may get a little more
action than normal.
Yeah, than normal for sure. 3-1 now to Botwell. Just out of the reach of 4 to Dickerson to first in time, but the run will score. Franklin came up with a nice grab there and a beautiful throw. The runner scored, but there's now one away.
Just one out.
Yeah. Shortstop, Lindsey Kelly. So Kelly will step in. The runner at third is Hayden Ward, as she came in to pinch run for the catcher and Botwell after she got in with a double. That's lifted. Perez underneath it. Franklin underneath it. The way Perez was running in, I was wondering. I was like, this. And again, you said the wind will make it interesting, and there's 2 away. Rover, number 7, Reagan Wright.
That's what you like to see from Perez. You know, she read that ball, and it just hung up there in the wind.
Mm-hmm. Out to Williams. Back is Williams. Zog called for it. She can't make the grab. She'll get it in. Another run will score and a stand-up triple for Wright. Third baseman, Sailor Brown. Now, at some point, I'm wondering, in that position now with a Rover, usually your center fielder is in charge of the outfield.
Right.
In this case,
It's
who's in charge of that? Whoever can get it.
Whoever can get it. And whoever yells, I got it loud enough.
Okay. The way Williams got back on that ball, with respect to Zog, it really looked like that was Williams' ball to
I thought
call.
she should have taken it.
To Dickerson, past a diving Dickerson. Run will score there. She tries for second. The throw down to second, not in time, as the throw was a little high as it was rushed by Williams, and Brown doing a good job on her horse. First baseman, Alex Bowden. So Bowden will step in. And just like last night, right?
Yeah.
Kind of seeing the wheels come off a little bit here.
They just need to, when they get in the dugout here after they get this last out, they just need to calm down.
That's ripped. Perez in on it, and it'll go underneath her legs, and it'll go to the wall. 1 run will score. Bounds in with a double. And if softball teams had timeouts, you would have taken it right now. Designated hitter, Shania Burkholter.
And you know they can call time, and they could come together and talk about it.
And you're right, but I always think about the hockey reference, the definitely the basketball references. That'll drop in front of Williams. Williams gloves it. And Bowden will score easily from second. Second baseman, Michaela Collins. So still 2 outs. Opportunity here, though, for them to get a force at either second or first. Two 2-0. Strike. So 2-1. And you mentioned it earlier, Sean. 6-1, they're not out of it.
Not out of it at all.
You know, a lot of baseball left. We're just now through 2 2/3. Thanks for joining us here on the Union Sports Network. Sean Ford, Jim Douthit. Good time so far. Dickerson to Arvey, and we're out of the inning. So we'll come back. Red Hawks up to bat, down 6-1. Welcome back here. Union Sports Network. He's Sean Four. I'm Jim Douthit. And wheels kind of fell off, as we said, in the last half of the inning. But again, 5 runs.
It's in
easy.
slow pitch. It's nothing.
Yeah, it's nothing to do. Leading off for the Red Hawks, catcher Shania James.
Yeah, five run lead in fast pitch. Now that's a good lead. In slow pitch, that's nothing.
That's nothing. And I think we brought it up last time that the more I sit here and listen to you and I talk, I was like, yeah, this sounds familiar. This conversation sounds familiar because I think I brought up Little League Baseball.
Yeah,
you know, where no lead is safe. 2-0 now. She turns on what would have been a third ball for sure. She liked it. It was kind of handcuffed her a little bit, though.
Yeah.
It's 2-1. This is where she needs to be patient. Again, we talked about it last night. The fact that you're not going to get 5 runs back with one swing of the bat. So just get on base, kiddo. And
it doesn't matter how far you hit it.
That's right. And that's roped. Right to the second baseman and Collins. She did not hesitate there. Right fielder, Harmony Zog. So Zog steps in, and she can erase a lot of things right here with just a base hit. With just a base hit. You know, going through her mind is her defensive issues last inning, but man, once you get to the plate, you can change a lot. You can erase a lot of that by just simply getting on base.
Absolutely. Don't take the defense to the offensive side of the ball.
There you go.
I used to have to tell JC that all the time when she was little because it would just snowball on her. She'd make an error in the field, and then she'd try to do too much right there.
Just like that. Zog with a base hit and timely hitting, and 1 out brings up the hard-hitting Monica Franklin. Shortstop, Monica Franklin. So Franklin steps in here. Back to the top of the order. And this is what you talked about it. This is what you need out of your 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
Get on base.
That's it.
You know.
Dude, everybody has a part to play.
Yep. Nice piece of hitting there by Zog to get her on. You know, now Franklin's as patient as the day is long. And so she's probably taken all the way here, I would imagine.
Ball was a little flat. I was surprised Randall called that one.
He said in the dugout earlier, we'd talk about him, to first, second for 1. They get the lead runner in Zog. Nice play there by Bowden to get over to second. And there's 2 away. Center fielder, Lily Hance. So Hance steps in here. I don't think Monica necessarily got the pitch that she wanted either.
She got a little antsy, but still a lot of softball left.
For sure. 1-1 deep, 2-1. And the patience in Hance, if she can get on, and she will. And that brings up the hard-hitting 4. Pitcher, JC 4. So JC steps in. She hit one opposite field, Shawner?
She can. She has not this year yet.
Talked about it in class today.
Did she?
Really? Really? If you heard it, can't hear Andy Irwin. He said he talked to her about it in class today.
She said she's going to take it to the right field wall.
She said he was going to take it to the right field wall, and there she goes. That's going to fall and to the wall. Just on cue. 1 will score. 2 come home. And the throw to the plate. And it's a home run. Oh, my.
Little league home run right there.
All the way to the wall. Now,
she'll need some O2.
I was just going to ask you if she's going to need a little oxygen on that one. To the wall. And Danny Perez steps in now. apologize, Danny, for not announcing you, but that was fun. Talk about calling it. Everybody was in on that. Daniel, we'll give you credit. You were quiet through that whole conversation, but
there you
and a
go.
base
Hard
hit
ball
by Perez. And just like that, the inning continues with 2 outs. Third baseman, Tensia Norman. Norman steps in. Perez is on first. Now, JC not known for her wheels.
No.
And I wondered, I was watching Coach Morgan the entire time, and I was like, is he going to send her? Because he never really waved her on.
No.
But he must have been talking to her. If that throw was a little closer to the plate, it might have been
interesting.
Yeah, that's for sure. High there. A little deep. 2-2. We'll have to have a conversation with Coach Morgan tomorrow and see what that conversation was like between him and JC. Inside 3-2, yeah, there was no windmill there at all. He needs to take a little something from Jeff Brown down the left field line, foul, and that's the third out, or the third strike and the third out of the evening, or the inning. Good Lord, I can't talk.
It's okay.
I got so excited by JC's inside the park homer. She comes back out to the circle. We're going to take a quick timeout. Redhawks down by 2 now. Fourth inning coming up. Raylan Morgan. So Raylan Morgan will step in here after an inside the park home run by JC Ford that scores 3, and the Redhawks are only down 6-4. If you're just now joining us, where you been? It's been a fun afternoon so far. Ten runs already on the board. And the count is 1-1 to the center fielder and Morgan. She'll rip one to Williams. Williams comes in, nicely played there, and quick to get it in. And just even a routine play like that, you like to see him do that, so we know they're back in the game. Left fielder Mariah Ardaberry. That's lifted. Williams in, back on it, and it's over her head. She misjudged that one off the bat. And they quickly get it back in. As Hance was covering, backed her up and quickly got it back in, but it's just like that at second and third. Right fielder, Riley Westmoreland. So Westmoreland steps in, nobody out, runners at second and third. That's lifted again. Zog coming in on it. She can't make the play, and it'll run underneath her. Williams will cover for her. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. And just like that, trying to make a play, making up for what you did last inning, and kind of backfired on her. Catcher, Kaylee Botwell. Well, if I'm the Haymakers, I'm pulling everything to right field for now. And no offense against our girls out there, but if I'm the Haskell coach, I'm like, hey. But now, does that put pressure on JC to pitch these players inside a little more?
A little bit, but like I said, in slow pitch, you can't really place the ball all that well.
Right.
But
right.
Yeah.
And if you heard Andy say, especially with the wind, but that was back to 4. Now batting Kaylee Botwell. So Botwell, the pitcher, will step in. As the first out was recorded by JC4's grounder back to her. And she turned around and looked the player back to second base and over to first. And there's one away. But, yeah, you can't really place the ball. And
you can't.
And Andy talked about with the wind.
In slow pitch, all the pitcher needs to do is throw strikes. You can't.
Like that?
Just like that.
Yep. And then make sure your defense does that.
Yeah.
As Hans records the second out. Shortstop, Lindsey Kelly. So Lindsey Kelly will come up now. Still a runner on second, but 2 away. And
got a broken glove.
A little broken glove action. Shania James going to go over and look for a new glove.
Laces have come apart.
Come apart for sure. And Jerry Pease is going to. Andy said because JC's throwing heat. Nah.
I tell you what, I every time we play catch anymore, either I'm getting older or she's getting stronger, one of the two, because it's starting to hurt my hand.
Yeah, that's true. It's a little bit of both for sure. So Jerry Pease will take Trinia's glove in, and we'll take a quick timeout. 8-4, Haymakers on top. Back after this. Back live here. Little defensive changes. Williams will take over in left field, and Perez will move to where Williams was, kind of the rover position, Sean, I guess you could say, right? Kind of sew up a little bit of that over there.
Yeah, just try to help a little bit.
Well, and we all have off nights. Lord knows.
Absolutely. And, the one thing we got to consider, these girls are young.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I think Williams, she may be a freshman.
There you go. That's popped up. A lot of people calling for it, but Franklin there, and there's 3 out. So only 2 runs are scattered across after a couple of timely or untimely errors for us, for sure. 8-4, Haymakers on top. 00, Jocelyn Williams. So Williams steps in. Union down by 4. And a couple of defensive changes for Brett Morgan's crew. We talked about earlier. Williams to third, over to first in time. And a great play there by Brown. Defensively, Haymakers look pretty solid.
They are.
Second baseman, Bailey Dickerson. So Dickerson steps in now with nobody on, 1 away. And I guess you've talked about it, but it's very true. The more I watch this game, the more I enjoy this game. It's definitely a place for, as that's popped up to Collins, it's definitely a place for the girls to work on their defensive strategies and defensive play overall.
Absolutely.
First baseman, Bree Arvey.
Coach Morgan likes to say he could take an average outfielder and in one slow pitch season make her above average outfielder.
Yeah, especially with the way what we've seen tonight, for sure. Grounder back to Botwell, and it's 3 up and 3 down for Union. Haymakers are up after this. Start there, Mr. Ritter. Leading off, Rover, number 7, Reagan Wright. As we're back live here, talking about line dancing and George Strait. Step to the right into that ball and rope that thing to left field. And she's going to stand up all the way in with a double. As the ball was hit hard to Williams, she bobbled a little bit, and they took advantage of it. Third baseman, Sailor Brown. So Brown will step up, runner on second. And watching Williams's mannerisms out there, she's really upset with herself right now.
She is.
You can tell her. She's looking over her shoulder. She doesn't want to even.
And that's
it's one of those places you can't hide on this field anywhere.
No, and that's the other
surface.
thing. It's the baseball, softball. That's going to score 1.
That's going to score 1 easily as it's off the wall. And Franklin will run out to grab it.
That's the funny thing about baseball and softball. It will find you
wherever you are. That's
you
right.
are.
And it has for sure. First baseman, Alex Bowden. So Bowden steps in, runner on second. The lead is 5 for the Haskell Haymakers. And we're at that point right now where the girls got to calm down. They've got to hold this right here.
Absolutely. They got to get outs here.
To Franklin, over to first and in time. Runner advances to third. Nice throw over there by Arvey, but not in time. So heads up base running by the Haskell Haymakers, and there's 1 away. Designated hitter, Shania Burkholter. So Burkholter steps in. Runner on third, 1 away. The Haymakers appear to be well coached.
Yes.
There wasn't a lot of hesitation there As soon as that out was made, as soon as that ball's thrown, she's running.
She was going.
Yep, she was going. And no hesitation in her stride. It was a nice throw by Arby, but I think it kind of caught her off guard too. Oh my gosh, she's running. But she didn't throw it away. Yeah, Norman made a nice job to, make sure it didn't get by her. 2-1 delivery. Swung on to Dickerson to first. And a run will score, but that's 2 away.
I'll trade a run for an out there.
For that, you would? Second baseman, Michaela Collins. Well, and the reason I questioned you on that, because we start talking, now I'm looking at 10-4, I'm thinking run rule here.
It's I believe it's 10 after 5.
Is it 10 after 5? Okay, so we got some
wiggle room here.
Okay.
So
okay. And as I look around the field, really the mannerisms of all the girls right now, they're kind of like, uh-oh. So that's up the middle. That's a base hit just out of the outstretched arms of J.C. Ford. Just kind of barely got over.
Yeah. She'll be upset that she didn't make that play.
Center fielder, Raylan Morgan. So Morgan steps into this. Still 2 outs. Again, all they need is 1 here.
Sometimes that's the hardest one to get.
Well, and I've talked about it before, right? How many times the boys scored 2 runs, or it scored a number of runs with 2 outs last year in baseball.
Yeah.
2-out rallies, or as a coach, it's got to drive you bananas.
Yeah, absolutely.
You need 1 out. Let's get 1 out, kids. Now, read into JC's mannerisms right now. That's hit down the left field line.
Foul ball.
Foul ball. Yeah. And it was tailing that way. The way that wind was blowing, boy, I thought it was going to keep it in.
It could have.
Let's talk about JC and talk about her. What are you seeing in her right now? Can you tell anything? I mean, it's kind of out of her control at this point.
Right. She's like I said, she's a little upset that she didn't make that play.
That last play. Mm-hmm.
But she just needs to stay within herself, be patient, know her defense is behind her, and that they'll come through for her.
Mariah Ardaberry checks in here now. She'll look at a first pitch ball. Runners at first and second, 2 away, 10-4 is the score here. We welcome you into the Union Sports Network. He's JC4. I'm Jim Douthit. Not out of it yet are these Lady Redhawks, that's for sure. Game number 2 will come to you tonight sometime around 7 o'clock as the Jinx Trojans are here. Hance on the run, can't get that to that one. 1 run will score, and now the second run will score on an errant throw by Hance. She really wanted to get there. She just couldn't squeeze it. Right fielder, Riley Westmoreland. So of the 2 losses that we have so far, the girls have so far, one of them is to this Haskell Haymaker team.
Yeah, last Thursday.
19-12, was it?
Yes, 19-12.
Back to 4. 4 can't field it cleanly. And just like that, I was asking about mannerisms, and that's an easy play for her.
Yes, she just needs to calm down.
Yeah. Just like everybody else out there. Catcher, Kaylee Botwell. So runners at the corners, 2 outs. Should be out of the inning. But a number of errors, and there's a first pitch strike. You like to see that out of the senior.
That, yes.
Yeah. Come right back and throw first pitch strike. That'll be inside. 1-1. Swung on.
Hey, there we go.
Out to Williams, and she makes the catch. That's got to make her feel good. 12-4 as the Haymakers put up a 4 spot in the 5th inning. Union's coming up after this. So James steps in here. 12-4 is the lead for the Haskell Haymakers. 1 run at a time here.
That's all. You can't hit a 12-run home run, like we said.
Yep. To first. Gobbled up there by Bowden, and there's 1 away. Next up, number 7, Harmony Zog. Now, if you're Haskell, what are you telling your kids? Just, hey, fundamentals, keep it simple. And Zog down the line quickly, and she's safe. Nice hustle there.
Yeah. Zog is probably the fastest person on this team. She's ridiculously fast.
Proved it there. Monica Franklin steps in with Zog on first. Squibbler to Collins. Collins over to second in time. And boy, yeah, you're right. Zog was down that line quickly.
Yes.
Quickly for sure. Wonder if our track coaches know about the speed that young lady's got. Center fielder Lily Hance.
But we don't want them to take her.
Yeah, that's true. Not with the 2 seasons like this. Yeah, and honestly, we've talked about it off air, but the fact that the pool for softball players is small here.
Very small, very small. And I don't understand why.
Yeah, and I have yet to figure it out either, because you think about Oklahoma. I'm not going to say it's the softball capital of the world, but it's kind of the softball capital of the world. It's pretty darn close, right? Hour and a half way down I-44 is one of the greatest. Yeah, is the Hall of Fame. OU's got one of the finest programs in all of college softball. Now Stillwater's trying to get there.
Trying to get there.
Trying to get there.
Absolutely.
I think they're number 6 in the nation right now.
I believe so.
Yeah, yep. Pitcher JC4. Hance takes a walk.
And Ford just needs to be patient here and take what's given to her. Don't try to hit a 3-run home run.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Just like that. Base hit. Wright will bobble the ball a little bit. 1 run will score. And Franklin's across, and it's 12-5. Nice piece of hitting by Ford. Left fielder, Danny Perez. So Perez will step in, and I said left fielder. I think she's playing right now, if I'm not saying I'm mistaken.
I believe she's in left center.
Is she in left center?
And Hance is in right center.
Yeah. Morgan needs to get a runner to come up here and tell us when things like this happen. Come on, Brett Morgan. 2 away, 12-5, and that's ripped. That'll find a hole. They'll send the runner. And just like that, it's 12-6.
Good piece of hitting by Perez there. Find that 5-6 hole.
Yep. Third baseman, Tensia Norman. Norman will step in here and just keep advancing runners.
That's it.
way too deep. So ball one. Steps into that one, grounder to second, over to first in time. But not before Union can put 2 runs on the board. The lead is now 6 for Haskell. We head to the top of the 6th, right here on the Union Sports Network. Back live here on the Union Sports Network. Down by 6, the Red Hawks. I believe that's going to be leading off for Haskell, number 2, Kaylee Botwell. Botwell steps in, their pitcher. Andy Irwin brought it up earlier, Sean, and I want to talk about it for a second because Haskell does have that point where they walk towards the ball, just like that. Botwell took 2 or 3 steps in there, and that's something, obviously, you never see that in baseball or even fast pitch, but is that a timing issue?
They're trying to place the ball.
Okay.
And so if you'll notice, a lot of times when they take that, they're trying to place it to right field. Okay. I know when I played.
Oh, come on, you still play. You know.
No,
it.
I don't play. I retired. I'm old.
But you're doing the same thing. So
yeah,
you're kind of taking a couple of steps.
Absolutely.
So a walk here. That'll bring in the top of the order. Shortstop, Lindsey Kelly. So Kelly will step in. She'll look at a first pitch strike. That's lifted high. Should be an easy infield catch. Wind played a little havoc, but Franklin did a nice job tracking that ball the entire way.
And the shortstop is the commander of the infield.
Yep.
So if they can get to a ball, they get it.
They get it. Rover, Reagan, right. Yeah, and that's what I was, and that's kind of what I was talking about earlier on. Center fielder obviously is in control of the outfield, but when you have a rover out there, it's tough. And you said it. If they call for it, let them have it. And that's lifted high. Back, I believe that was Hans.
It is.
It is Hans. Yep. Hans, nice job to get underneath it. And there's 2 away. And they need a quick inning.
They need a quick inning, yes.
Third baseman, Sailor Brown. And I'll use an Andy Irwin line. I hope I didn't jinx us there. As that's lifted. Franklin underneath it. She calls for it. Pops out of her glove. And everybody will be safe. Boy,
the outfield has to take control there because Franklin's going back. That ball, Perez should have caught that ball.
When Franklin threw that back in emphatically to 4, you could tell. I don't want to play catch for that girl right now. That's for sure. As Alex Bowden checks in. 2 outs.
So Franklin and 4 probably have the 2 strongest arms on the team. So I would not want to play catch with either one of them when they're angry.
Right. Make it all right here. Dickerson, nice grab.
Nobody hurt there.
Yep. And nobody hurt. They get out of the inning. The lead is still 6, though, as we head to the bottom of the 6. Union coming up. Leading off for the Red Hawks, 0-0, Jocelyn Williams. So Williams steps in here. Bottom of the sixth, we're starting to run out of time.
But we're not out
of time. Yeah, absolutely not.
We have 6 outs to work with.
And 6 runs to get, so.
And it all starts with a good at-bats.
Being patient, not overdoing it. 2-1 now. Deep 2-2 now. Talk about 3-1, I should say. Talk about what the Red Hawks got coming up this week. They got a little tournament action this week.
They do. They play 3 games on Friday.
And it's going to be all right here.
All right here. It's the BA Union Classic.
Yep. Second baseman, Bailey Dickerson. Popped up.
Got lucky there. So they play Choctaw at 10 on Friday, Berry Hill at 5:30, and somebody else at 8:30.
Very good.
And then they play Fairland on Saturday.
Got it. That's popped up. Second baseman, easy play there, and there's one away. Collins, nice job to get underneath it. Catcher, Shania James. So James steps in here. As I look, if I remember correctly, Choctaw is a powerhouse.
They are.
Okay.
They are very good.
Yeah, they're very good. So they'll come up. So you'll have 3 games here. What's the Broken Arrow side of that? They obviously have teams over there, so there's brackets on either side.
Yeah,
is that what they're doing? Okay.
And it's 4 games, and there's not really a tournament per se, but yeah, they'll play 4 games.
4 games. So 3 Friday.
3 Friday,
and then 1 on Saturday.
Yep.
A lot of softball for the girls, but it's that time of year.
It's that time of year.
Yeah, for sure. Inside. Just like that, ball 4.
Well, I missed.
And I took your mind away from that, so that's my fault. Right fielder. Catcher, Shania James. Bree Harvey was the one that was up there, and I miscalled that. Sorry about that, Bree. I wondered why you looked back at me.
Yeah.
Bree Harvey. That's okay. Number 8, number 8. It's numbers.
Yeah.
It's a number thing.
It's a number thing. So we play Memorial at 8:30 on Friday.
Got it.
Yeah.
That one catches the home plate umpire. He didn't look very happy with that. It's 1-1. It's funny, even though those things kind of trickle in, you turn away. You turn away. Just like you did it in.
Absolutely.
Yep. 1-2 now.
Don't want to lose any teeth.
Yep. Two and 2. That could have easily been called strike 3. It sure looked like.
I don't know how you let that go by. It's a 2-strike count.
Yeah.
But give credit to her.
Well, and she's worked it back to full, hasn't she?
Yes, full count.
Full count. So from a 1-2 to 3-2. Swung onto that. Down the first base line. And a couple of players have come together, but that'll be an out. As Bowden bobbled the ball, but she was able to recover and get back on the bag. Right fielder, Harmony Zog. So Zog steps in. 2 outs, but runners in scoring position.
They have that orange safety bag there to prevent what happened, but when you're covering both bags, it's kind of hard not to run into
right. Well, let's be honest. James is just running down the line trying to get there.
No malicious.
Oh, not at all.
Whatsoever.
Not at all. As a matter of fact, if you saw the mannerisms when she kind of bumped into her, it was like, hey, ooh, my bad. Both playing hard. Squibbler, that may be trouble. Down the line hustling and called out. Close play there. As you said it, Zog can flat out run. But she's called out at first. And we head to the 7th, down by 6. Haymakers coming up. leading off for Haskell, number 5, Shania Burkholter. So you said it. You need to repeat it again so everybody at home can hear you. What do you need this inning?
No runs.
No runs, for sure. Buckle down here and play the kind of softball
that you've been playing all year.
Yeah, exactly. That got you to the 7 wins. And let's not take anything away from Haskell. They've come in and done what they were supposed to do.
Absolutely.
Timely hits, good defense.
And take advantage of what we're given to them.
Yep. 2-1 now. Burkholter rips that past Dickerson. She kind of olayed that one as well. She couple extra steps, gets over in front of it.
Yeah.
She's able to knock that down. Second baseman, Michaela Collins.
Again, just a sophomore.
Yes, absolutely. And again, as we look around, I'm trying to remember from memory the juniors that are out here. And I think it would be Franklin. Just like that. And doubled it up.
Nice.
What a job by Franklin.
Good job for Arby for getting back there on the bag to know that she has a chance at 2.
Yep. And she does, and that's the kind of defense, just like we said, that's got them those seven wins. Center fielder, Raylan Morgan. So Morgan steps in here. Nobody on now. And great defense by Franklin. And she was the one that I was going to mention. Of the juniors, I'm pretty sure it's her and Hans.
Hans is not a junior.
No, not okay. There you go. Now up the middle, but still up the middle, base hit without the play there by Franklin. We've got
a chance to score.
Another chance for them to score. Left fielder Mariah Ardaberry. So, Ardaberry steps in, steps to it, tries to find the hole. Franklin over quick to second, safe. Great job there by Franklin to quickly get it over to Dickerson, but not in time. And runners at first and second, but still with 2 outs. Right fielder Riley Westmoreland.
Yeah, she was deep in the hole there. She knew she couldn't probably get the runner at first, so tried to go to the second.
But defensively, I like what I've seen in this half inning.
Absolutely.
Kids are covering bags. Kids are hustling. They know they're not out of this, I think. I really do. 6 runs is going to be a tall task against Haskell. Just to tie it, but you can't give them any more.
Exactly.
So 4 will walk, the bases loaded.
Just must have been on the outside a little bit. Yeah, so I just got confirmation that Lily is a sophomore.
Is a sophomore. There you go. Catcher, Kaylee Botwell. So Botwell steps in with a chance to really open it up. But defensively, we need 1 out, and you just tag any base.
That's it. Made it easy for you.
And that's why I guess, if you can't say I'm too upset about the walk.
No,
I mean, you want the out, but
you didn't walk a run in.
Right.
I mean,
now you got to bear down here, though.
Absolutely.
That's ripped to the hole. Through the 5-6 hole. 1 run will score. 2 will come in. And 2 runs are given up there. 4 was kind of looking towards the left side of the infield. Not too sure what she was talking about, but pitcher Kaylee Botwell. She was looking right at Franklin, it seemed like. So not too sure. Can't really fault either Franklin or Norman where they were playing. Yeah,
that found the hole.
Yeah. But when you're pushing so hard, you know, it's almost like, why weren't you over 2 more steps?
Yeah, I put that right there.
Yeah, I pitched it there on purpose, right? Easy for us to say sitting up here. Lifted Hance underneath it. And there's 3 away, but not without more runs, I should say, being scored by Haskell. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Union down by 8. Leading off for the Redhawks, number 14, shortstop, Monica Franklin. So Franklin will step here. Tall task now, though.
Absolutely.
Sean. 8 runs. 8 runs. Now, between our 2 broadcasts, Haskell and Jinx will play, and then we'll be back on the air about 7 or so, or 7:30. 7:30, Andy, my apologies. 7:30 for game number 2 tonight. That's this little backyard brawl, softball style.
That's it.
You know.
And this is the only time we play Jinx this year.
That's lifted. Out to center. And underneath it is Morgan, and there's 1 away. We talk about it all the time, though. It seems like anytime Jinx and Union play each other, it doesn't matter if it was Tiddlywinks or what.
Absolutely.
You know, there's something about these 2 teams that they just want to go after each other, and I like it. I like it.
Oh yeah.
I was joking with Tanner Bushyhead and Ritter about, you know, what's it like when you play Jinx and golf, and he said the same thing. And I'm like, wow, you know, the competitive juices really flow even on the golf course.
Oh yeah, and you know, some of these girls, like JC has played with at least 2 of the Jinx girls travel ball.
Right.
And so it adds to it, you know.
There's a friendship and a camaraderie there, but
you always want to beat them.
Yep. not when they're wearing the maroon, that's for sure. So it's 3-1 now. Hance, the center fielder. And she'll get ball 4. So good job for her just to get on base. Pitcher, JC4. So JC steps in.
Just be patient.
And if you want to go and hear some of the best commentating that Sean Four and I have ever had, thanks to Andy Irwin, you need to back it up and listen to the bottom of the 3rd, where JC4 got an inside the park home run on a timely hit ball to right field that fell out of the glove and rolled to the wall just on cue, because that's what Andy Irwin had talked with JC4 about in his class today. That may be the best clip of the year in any sport.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you that right now. And JC draws the walk.
That's it. Don't force anything.
Right. Left fielder, Danny Perez.
Don't try to force anything, because that's when pop-ups happen and weak ground balls happen.
Mm-hmm. And so here you go. Now you got their coach out to talk, and it's funny. It's one of the first times I think that I've seen a coach come out and talk to a pitcher in slow pitch.
Yeah.
Right? You usually gather your infielders in and get something. He just simply went out there and talked to Botwell and said, hey. So, interesting take.
1 out, so.
Perez steps in, and she'll get a base hit out of that. Hold up there. Nice throw in. Boy, and there's an arm on that Morgan young lady out there in center field. JC wanted to advance, but Coach Morgan had to tell her, hold up there.
Told Hans to hold up.
Yep.
No need to get thrown out at home when you're trying to come back.
Third baseman, Tensia Norman. So Norman steps in, and a little rally with ducks on the pond. Good patience there. Well, she was eyeing that all the way, and I was thinking she was swinging for that. She does, and that'll get down. One will score, but they won't test Morgan's arm there. And Norman with an RBI single.
That's what we need to do.
Rover, 0-0, Jocelyn Williams. And that's going to fall if that stays fair, and it drops foul.
Good thinking, though.
Boy, howdy. Yep, pull that ball that way, and because Ardaberry's really
off the line
quite a bit, and she's almost playing more right center than she is, or excuse me, left center than she is. Now she moves over.
Because in slow pitch, most girls are going to.
And that finds the hole up the middle, and another run scores.
Most girls are going to pull the ball in slow pitch. Mm-hmm. So if you can shoot one oppo, that just helps you. Just like JC did there on her hit to right field.
Right. Second baseman, Bailey Dickerson. 14-8 now. Dickerson steps in, still one away, still bases loaded. Strike 1-1.
Take that outside pitch and put it in the right field corner.
Yeah. Westmoreland's had a little issue this evening out there in right field. She's the one that gave up the home run or the inside the park home run. Let's not get too carried away. Inside the park home run. How many inside the park home runs has JC had over her career now?
I could probably count them on one hand.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Over.
Yep.
That's going to walk a run.
That'll walk a run in. First baseman, Bree Arvey. So Arvey steps in, one out, and I hope the bottom of the lineup is looking to see what.
Absolutely.
Knowing what the situation is here, right? You don't have to swing at anything. This young lady's now having a really hard time finding the plate.
Zone, yeah.
I remember all the time in hockey we would talk about a three goal lead was the worst lead to have.
Absolutely.
Because you relax. And I wonder now, as that's lifted.
The infield fly.
Brown gets underneath that, and there's two away. But I wonder how much, you relax. You got 8 runs, you got 3 outs, and just like that. No matter what happens, I think this is an inning, though, that Morgan can really say, look, you can build on this for sure. Harmony Zog, Trania James steps in, catcher. It's 1-0 to her. Now 1-1. So 1 out away from only the 3rd loss on the season. That squibbler down the first base line, picked up, and there's 3 away. So the first game will go to the Haskell Haymakers, 14-9. We're going to take a timeout for about an hour and a half as Jinx will play Haskell, and then we'll be back at 7:30 as Union will take on Jinx. We hope you join us. So for JC4, Andy Irwin, Danny Lopez, I'm Jim Douthit. We'll see you at 7:30.